I think we're live. Hey guys, what's up? Happy Saturday. I wanted to introduce y'all to another friend of mine today. This is the third week that I brought a friend on to introduce you and tell their stories. This week I have my beautiful friend Cheryl, who if you guys have been following me for a while. You may have seen I went on a trip to Austin back in November. Have I went to Austin?
August.
August. I was thinking hot. I don't think it was November. So we met in Austin, Texas on a trip that we both qualified for this awesome getaway. It was like the most amazing little trip to Austin, Texas. We had so much fun. And Cheryl and I met and connected, and we're swapping our stories and talking to each other. And I love her story. I really wanted her to share that with y'all today. I really think that getting her story out there can help some other people too. So Cheryl and I are with the same company. We're in the business of changing lives. We both found some products that helped us, and then found out that we could make that a business too by sharing with others. And so, like, I want to let y'all hear Cheryl's story today and how she found this company and what made her decide to try it.
Well, thank you for having me. This is very exciting. Well, my story started actually 5 years ago. I was slammed into menopause and I started experiencing the menopause symptoms that most people do. But I started gaining weight, and which was like, I've always been thin my whole life, fluctuated, the normal, 20 pounds, but I was always able to get it off. I knew my body. I always, could able, to diet or work out, and I've always worked out. And, so I've always been very healthy. And then menopause hit, and I started gain all this weight, and did not understand why I couldn't get it off. I tried for 4 years. I tried HCG. I did keto religiously for a couple years. I did bioidentical hormones. I went to the doctor and got a prescription, and I did that for well over a year. But ironically, at the same time, I was going to the doctor and getting my blood work done, expecting to go on the hormones, which I hadn't done yet. I found I was, scrolling through Facebook and found this ad in these people that were talking about these great results of getting their weight off. And I'm like, so I was invited to a group, and I talked to somebody. I asked questions about it, but at the time I had already spent all this money doing getting my blood work done, and I went to all these hormone classes. Some of the pharmacies have hormone classes, so I was going to those. And I said, well, I'm going to give the hormones a try. And so I did that for over a year. Now the doctor said, give it 90 days. You got to give it 90 days. So every 90 days I would talk to him, and we would reassess, and we would have to keep adjusting, because I was not only losing, I was gaining. My face was breaking out like a teenager. I'm like, where's this coming from? But I was trying to be patient. I know it takes a while for medications, vitamins, all that stuff to take. It takes a little bit for your body to adjust and get it into your bloodstream and into your system. And as I was learning all of this stuff about hormones, and in these hormone classes, I also knew that our hormones it controls everything about us. And not only that, but it excretes into our bloodstream. So it's all connected. And so I'm learning in this group, watching this whole time I'm on these hormones, reading stories, seeing all the success from people in this private group, and reading about how You know, it's breaking up the visceral fat. And but I gave it a full year with my hormones, and it did nothing for me, but made myself worse. I was heavier, my face was worse, all my symptoms were still there, hot flashes, everything. So I stopped it. I called actually text this lady back that I talked to with this company, and got started. And ironically, at the exact same time, my cousin called me from across the country, and she's a couple years older than me, so she was going through the same stuff. And she's like, "Okay, what are you doing? Let's, whatever you're doing, I want to do it too." So I said, "Well, I just bought these vitamins. Why don't you do it with me?" So we did. And I'll tell you, having a buddy was so key to my success. Because
Second that, having my husband on my journey with me, yeah. An accountability partner.
Absolutely. I mean, it's because your journey isn't identical. So, which is a good thing, because she was having better success than me. And I didn't see any results for the first 4 months. Let me take that back. I lost some weight. I lost like probably 10 pounds, but I didn't see any difference. And then my clothes still fit the same, and I was getting discouraged. But Bonnie she was sending me her 30-day pictures every 30 days. And I'm like, obviously it was working. So I hung in there, and sure enough, in my 4th month, I dropped 2 sizes. And in the 5th month, I dropped another 2 sizes.
Wow.
And I've maintained it. And that was as of October of 2020. I started in 2019 in October. So it took me about 5 months to get back into my wardrobe.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
So I'm not exactly right where I want to be. I still have some subcutaneous that I'd like to get off. And since summer, I've kind of fluctuated a little bit, but I have never felt better. My skin is cleared up. The restless leg is way better. No more hot flashes. Although the weight was really the main thing I was looking for. And it's been the best thing I've ever done. And since then, everybody saw, my people are the same age, and we're all in menopause, and they're all like, "What are you doing?" Because nothing works in menopause, it seems like.
Tough.
So, and it works, and it's working for everybody who tries it and everybody who sticks with it. So it's going to work differently for everybody. Your age is going to determine your levels of hormones are going to determine if you're on medications, which I'm not on any medications, but some people are. And it does, it might go a little slower for some, but it absolutely works. And I
love that you shared that, that for you, it took you a while to see the results, because we do have that for a lot of people. I mean, for some people, it's fast. For some people, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you, if this wasn't me, I wouldn't believe it. And, it's crazy. Some people, it just falls off like that. But some people, I mean, you never know what your body needs on the inside. You may need more time to get lined out. But I mean, you're not the only one that I've seen that it's taken a few months before they start really feeling that big difference. And then all of a sudden it's back. Then you'll have like a big drop or something. But consistency, like how important would you say consistency is? For me, I know 80 pounds, consistency.
Huge. And that's why having a buddy do it with me, having my cousin do it with me, we called each other all the time. Now, mind you, we didn't work out. We tried to like do this and kind of work out, when I say work out, I mean, maybe do some squats, maybe do some push-ups, but so I wouldn't say we really worked out. It was more for just getting together and making sure we were accountable. And I'll tell you, and the hugest thing that helped us was we were religious with our food tracker. So you want to make sure that you're watching. You can eat healthy and still eat too much. So you want to make sure that, that way you can eat, you can cheat a little bit, but as long as you're tracking it on your tracker, there's apps on your phone. We used My Plate because neither one of us had a Fitbit at the time, but there's Fitness Pal, there's
I use my fitness now, and I've heard of my plate too. It's really good for accountability. I mean, even when you're on your journey for a while and you think that you've got the whole food thing down, sometimes you can be putting things in your face and not realizing you can have a bad week. If you're not tracking it, you may not know why you didn't lose or something. If you're tracking it, you can look back and be like, oh, okay, maybe I had a whole lot of sodium this week and I'm retaining water, or like tracking that stuff really, really helps you notice
it's huge
patterns in your own body.
Well, what it does is that you put in your age, your weight, your goal, how fast you want to lose, and it will tell you how much calories you should eat that day. So when you track it, it subtracts and tells you, okay, how much you have left for the day. And when you reach your limit, you're done. Yeah. I went through, since I started in October, I started October 1st, I went through Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So all the parties and the dinners and all of that. And I still ate what I wanted to when we got together in the parties, but I just tracked it. And when I was done for the day, I was done. So I had some wine, I had a little piece of cake or something, but I didn't eat like that every day. You can't eat like that every day. You have to cut sugar, you have to cut bread. Although they don't have a particular diet plan, because everybody's bodies are different. So if keto works for you, it'll work. If paleo works for you, it'll work. Mediterranean, whatever diet you do, as long as you stick with it, it should work. Now, keto didn't work for me. I actually found out I had to eat more carbs, good carbs, for my body to start to lose. So, and you can feel it. You can feel it. My cousin, on the other hand, was not eating enough. She was under eating. She was like grossly under eating, and she wasn't losing it, so until she increased her calories, she had to force herself because she wasn't hungry. So she had to force herself to eat to get enough calories, because you have to have food to fuel and burn, So, and you need the nutrition. You have to have nutrition so that you're not digging into your muscle. Because you can lose your muscle and still lose weight,
That's so true. And I just learned, I started doing the macros recently. I used to do my fitness pal and just track calories, which helped me a lot. That did help a lot. But now I started doing the macros. I wasn't eating enough carbs. Yeah. I would try to do the keto diet and couldn't stick to it. So then I tried to still just incorporate healthy fats and cut out carbs. And I wasn't eating enough carbs at all since I started doing the macros and changed that up 3 more pounds down this week. So use a tracker, use a calculator. There's so many tools you can use to figure out what calories you need to eat based on your goals and what macronutrients you need to eat.
Yeah, water is so key as well, because what our vitamins do is, as it's breaking up that visceral fat, you need the water to flush it, because your body can lose faster than what your body can eliminate. So you need the water, and you need our detox. We have a detox product that you have to make sure that it's going through your system. It's not a laxative product. It's and I say detox, they have it on the box, but it actually is like a sweeper. So your liver is like a filter. So when all that visceral is going through your liver and into your intestines, it can get clogged up, just like your furnace filter, you know? When it gets clogged up, the airflow is less. So, and you want to make sure that things are going out. So you want to make sure that that filter is clean and clear. And that's what our detox product does. So when you got your combo and you're breaking up and the blood chemistry is cleaning, your body's healing and it's repairing, it's going back to your normal BMI. So when your body balances out, your body's going to naturally just start losing because it doesn't belong there. You know, so when you start healing yourself, your body's going to naturally go to where it's supposed to. So, and what that looks like is different for everybody. You know, we're not all going to be skinny, you know.
Right. We're all made different.
Right. That's right. So it's
the big thing, like you talked about with the water, with our supplements, it's important that you work with them. Yes, there are people who say that it doesn't work and they give up too quick. Cheryl said it took her a little while to see those results and really feel it for herself. But if people are saying it doesn't work, and it's because they've given up too quick. You got to give it time, and this is something you have to work with. It's a tool. It's not going to, I mean, for some people, they feel like it's magic and it loses weight for them. They really do. There are those people that do, but everybody's different. For the biggest part of us, our bodies have been torn down over the years from processed foods, pollution, and things like that. It's going to take a little time sometimes for some of us to level out.
Well, and here's that when tagging onto that, another part of that scenario is how long you've been holding on to this weight. Yeah. So if you've been, I'll use one girl as an example. I went to high school with her, and I've been holding her hand through this, and it's been awesome to watch. But she's been heavy her entire life. I've always, you know, and so it's taking her a little longer because our fat cells have memory. So it's going to want to hold on to that shape, and it's going to fight. And as that cell starts to lose the fat, it's going to fill up with water. So it's going to hold that shape, even though the fat's now gone. The body is going to say, okay, you're going to get fatty, you know, you're going to bring me more fat. So I'm going to hold on to this until it comes back. Well, when it realizes that it's not coming back, it collapses. And that's when you see I
love that you explained that.
A big drop. Well, it's true because, and people give up.
Some people call it the fat swoosh.
Yes.
You'll go for a long time, you're doing the right things, and it's like, okay, it's just not budging. And then, but if you keep doing the right things and drink that water, eventually you're going to have a swoosh.
It's going to swoosh. It's going to collapse. And people are giving up. They're giving up in here. You know, they're giving up in here because they're not seeing any results yet. So I'm like, you got to hold on. You got to hold on because your body's going to give it up. So if you've been heavy for a long time, then holding on to that, it's going to hold on longer. So it might take you longer. You have to make sure you're going to the bathroom regularly. If, you know, not to bring up the personal, but it's so important because my girlfriend I'm just talking about, it took us a while to get her regular. And once she started to get, because it's all part of your digestive system. It's all part of your cleaning out and cleansing and all of it. So we had to get her regular. And once that happened, and it took about 6 months for her to finally start to see it all start to drop. And she keeps calling me, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sticking in with me. And I'm like, well, thank you for trusting me, because, it really, and not just that, but she's off her high blood pressure medicine. So,
that's awesome.
Another girl I've got, she's diabetic, and 5 shots a day she was taking, and she's down to 3. She may never be healed forever. She may never come off insulin, but she doesn't have to take as much, and it's not costing her as much because she doesn't, so
that's a win right there. That's a win.
there's more benefits than just weight loss, but we all want the weight off,
Of course.
And once the visceral fat is gone, then it can start to work on this, the stuff we pinch. So,
Yeah.
It's the most awesome, because these are natural plant-based vitamins. They are not a diet pill. It's not synthetic. It's not, it works, and it works with your body. You just got to let it.
Yeah. Gosh, thanks so much. You were so informative and gave so much information.
Well, when you learn how your body works and you learn how it all works, it helps you be more patient.
Yeah.
It does. And I had to learn it, and we all want something quick. We all want the magic pill, and I'm one to blame. I wish it was.
No, I know it, and I pinch myself. What magic too, but we all want those fast, gratifying, instant results. Everybody does. But I think it's important that you keep in mind that it's your body, your journey. And though it's great to surround yourself with others on this journey so that you guys can uplift and inspire each other and hold each other accountable, it's also really, really important that you don't play the comparison game and beat yourself up because you think you're not doing as good as others, because your journey is your own and all of us are different. Me and Cheryl didn't lose weight the same amount of time, but our circumstances are so different. And it's the same with everybody. You have to focus on your own journey.
And it doesn't lose on a straight slope down either. It's like this. So you might gain a couple, and you might lose 5. You might gain 2, lose 7, gain 4. It's up and down until it goes down on an average. And the gaining sometimes is water, sometimes it's muscle, sometimes it's, you had some pizza.
Yeah.
None of us eat perfectly. It's just not possible. We're all gonna be natural and normal. It's just,
we're human.
Yeah. You just have to be more consistent. That's why the tracker, I think, is one of those key elements into making this work.
You gave some really awesome tips today. I just want to point that out and just kind of review them real quick. And on your journey, so using a tracker. Well, the first one was, having an accountability partner. Find someone to jump in with you.
Mm-hmm.
But using a tracker to keep yourself accountable too. Check in with people. Check in with your accountability partner. Make sure that you're fueling your body and eating enough. And not to compare yourself. Did I miss any more? Hang in there for sure. Don't give up.
Take your vitamins. You gotta take the vitamins, because that's what's helping to heal. It's what's healing your body.
Yes. And y'all, if you have any questions about the supplements that we use, feel free to reach out. If you have any questions, I'll have Cheryl on here to answer them. Drop it in the comments. We would love to help y'all and chat with y'all a little bit today. I do see a few comments. Hey, Kimmy. Hey, Shanice. Hey, Amanda. What's up, guys? Yeah, we'll just check to see if anybody has any questions before I let you go. Won't keep you on here all morning.
Yeah, absolutely.
you really had some great information. I'm excited I had you on here this morning. I'm glad you got on here with me. You're
This is
busy.
awesome. Well,
Have your hubby's birthday to celebrate.
I just started to work. I started to work out right before COVID hit, and then I took it outside because then it was through the summer. I was trying to walk through the summer. I was trying to get my 10K steps in, which I think is awesome. Our company is this 10K challenge that also helps keep you accountable. Plus, a little side note, you can win points towards free products, so that helps.
And a free pair of custom Nikes
I
for every
know.
year that you do it. Like,
I know it is
I've been on my
awesome.
journey for a few years now, and I had a lot of weight to lose. If you're planning on like changing your lifestyle and getting healthy, and you're wearing a Fitbit anyways, you might as well get you some free Nikes every year, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Plus, I think in your 9th month, you get a jacket. They have some really nice prizes as well as getting free products. So,
Yeah.
it's really great. And the
We
other
don't
thing.
have any comments coming in right now, questions. I know
Okay.
it's morning time. Most people will be catching the replay. But if you guys are watching, drop us some comments. Let us know where y'all tuned in from. I'm sure Cheryl will come back to the video. If y'all have any questions, we'll be happy to answer.
Yep.
And thank y'all for coming and watching. Thanks so much, Cheryl, for hopping on with me.
Thank you
want to
for inviting
introduce y'all to her. I just love her to death. But I'm glad you guys got to meet her. I'm glad you got to hop on. And I hope you guys got some value from this today. Learn something. Love y'all.
Bye. Thanks.